So, when you go into the field, you have the aspirations of a lot of fans behind you. The fans are there every day to cheer what is happening in who is going to play, who is not going to play, who is fit, who can last 90 minutes, who cannot last 90 minutes.
You cannot predict, who's going to have what injuries. What are the differences between working in the IPL and the ISL?
To be very frank, money. There are many football fans in India, but if you ask them what they like, they will talk about Premier League, they'll talk about League One, they talk about Bundesliga, they talk about English Premier League, but very few people talk about Indian Super League.
Your favorite IPL team?
I think my favorite always will be Lucknow Super Giants, no doubt, because that's where I started my career in IPL, and there where I worked with the players so closely, and I really want to see one title coming up soon, hopefully next year. But I know.
But unfortunately, E Sati Cup namde.
Nimdalla namde adu.
A lot of doctors, see you sharing the dressing room with some magnanimous players.
But I got a shock once, man. You asked me dressing room, I thought of changing room. Man.
Hey.
It looks nice when you meet what your idols are. When you are small, you look at them growing, and meeting them was definitely an extra feather on the cap.
It's awesome and really nice to be this glamorous doctor that you are, right?
Am I glamorous? That's where the real test of a medical team is. That's where the sports doctor comes into a picture. When I started my career, when I started operating on these athletes, you don't not only you come back to a level where they have to be normal, they have to be the pre-injury level.
We see that, between the game, they have something called a drinks break.
But nobody drinks Pepsi inside, huh?
Okay.
Don't trust me.
Virat Kohli, man, come on.
Yeah, yes, of course. He's a gem of a guy, top guy. When I was a LSC, so obviously I'm supporting LSC. I have my friends who are RCB fans, very good friends, my classmates. I have a group there, and they all like, Nelson, we want to.
Hello, everyone. We're excited to launch the Humans of Medicine podcast, and I'm Dr. Sharan from the team Humans of Medicine. The Humans of Medicine is our Instagram page, I'm sure which most of you all know about, and that's been showcasing the diverse and inspiring stories of people in healthcare since April 2020. Today, we'd like to welcome you to our premiere episode of our podcast. It's with great pleasure that I welcome our first podcast guest, Dr. Nelson Pinto. He's a renowned sports medicine specialist whose expertise transcends the boundaries of athleticism and well-being, working behind the scenes with professional athletes to optimize their performance and ensure they're in good shape for some of the most watched sports of all time. Dr. Nelson is an orthopedic surgeon who has specialized in arthroscopy, sports rehabilitation, injuries, and orthopedic rheumatology. He also holds a diploma in FIFA medicine. He works as a club doctor with the IPL team, the famous IPL team, the Lucknow Super Giants, and the ISL team, Mohun Bagan Super Giants, after working with FC Goa, of course, for 4 years. Welcome, Dr. Pinto, and we're thrilled to have you with us here today. How does it feel to be in Bangalore?
Yes, Bangalore has always been my second home, right from Mangalore when I was doing my exams, or when I write exams, you have to come to Bangalore here. So I can see where I started from and where I've come today. It's a very big journey and a very nice journey, a very memorable journey. I'm definitely having extremely good vibes about it, and really it shows me my path from where I've begun.
Awesome.
So,
Nice to hear. Welcome to Bangalore again. And let's move on to a little more serious question. So, what made you pursue orthopedics as a career?
Oh, that's a very nice question you're asking me. So it is very emotional to me. Like, you see, my dad used to work in a medical college, okay, and when we have holidays, so we used to have a holiday every Saturday or Sunday. So I used to go to my dad's office, and when dad's office was very close to a museum, and that was anatomy museum, and I used to see people going in, seeing organs and everything, and dad used to show me all this. Then I used to sit in lectures sometimes because some doctors were very cool about it and they wanted me to come there. So all started with that passion, and I used to get sick myself, and so many times I see the doctors coming in with the gang of all the PGs around them, seeing them, and I'm like, Dad, who are they? And they say these are senior doctor and all they are students. And I was like, wow, this looks very interesting, isn't it? I mean, when you come back, you're so down in energy. When you go back, you're so happy, and there's happiness in everybody's face. I always said this, I just wanted to land up here, and that's where my first idea of being what I want to be in life started. And I'm really happy that I'm actually in that same line now.
Great, yeah, great to know. Of course, we all have these moments of inspiration that we
Yes.
take and
It may
put
start
that
from a
into our
very
lives.
small thing, very small thing like this.
So most of us finish our undergraduation and then post graduation, and we walk into a hospital. Right, most of us do that. But for you, it's been a pretty different journey, and you have had the opportunity to work with a lot of cricket teams, football teams. And before Lucknow Super Giants, the IPL and the ISL happened, you started working with the sports team. So could you just shed some light on that journey of yours?
See, it has been very interesting. I finished my basic studies in orthopedics in Mangalore. Then I went for my higher studies to Pune. So what happened was like, when there were matches, that was like ISL was happening but I was not a part of ISL, but I was doing my PG, and I used to handle the ground services there, for the medical facilities and stuff. And there, where I learned what the importance of a doctor is in the sports injury setup. And we were a part of the hospital, and we used to go there and treat players and follow them up after that. So we had a tie up with the hospital. So once that is where I actually got this interest to go into a sports field, and I knew that this is a very good field for me where I have to explore this. And being an orthopedic surgeon, I could definitely add on to a lot of value within the team and within the players. So that's where it all started for me. And gradually, once I finished my degrees, I did my fellowships in my sports injuries and arthroscopy. Then I did my fellowship in orthopedic rheumatology. And then I was working in a hospital myself. I worked in a private hospital for 8 months, and I also taught for a couple of 7 to 8 months. I did teach in a medical college too. And then I joined my first team, and the first team was FC Goa, and that was probably the beginning of my sports career. So it began with FC Goa, where I became orthopedic surgeon as well as a team doctor for them. And from then onwards, I went to Mohun Bagan Super Giants, and then also I've been working with Lucknow Super Giants for the last 2 years. So this has been my journey right from my post PG days.
Lovely. Yeah. This is some transition of your career that I think most people would dream of. But I want to know from you how this transition of working in a hospital to moving into the IPL and the ISL, which are probably the two biggest leagues in the sporting field in India today. So how is that? How did that transition feel? I mean, were you excited? Did you feel a sense of that there is some job security at stake here? Do you feel like, okay, I'm leaving a day-to-day job, an 8 to 8 job, which most people or most colleagues of yours are doing, and moving into something unpredictable? So, what was that transition like?
Oh, that's an excellent question, Sharath. See, when you finished your PG, it's everybody's dream. Like you see what the usual trend is. People either go to the medical college or they go to a private hospital and start off their careers and move on. So I also was of that opinion. So when I did be a part of the hospital setup. Also, I worked in once a private setup and also in a medical college. I had been to that setup. So the initial part we exactly knew well, because when coming to medical college, as a PG, you have seen the dynamics of a hospital. You see the dynamics of the orthopedics department. You know how the things go when you will start doing OTs, when you will take responsibility of taking major surgeries. So all this phase was definitely there. So it was very kind of a knowing atmosphere for me, and I know what I have to do here. So it was a good thing, and I felt and I enjoyed it a lot. But I knew something back of my mind that I do something in my life where I need to go and behind my passion. I was an athlete myself, and one point of time I had to choose between studies and the academics. I mean academics and sports. So I started. I couldn't give much to this sports because you have to be extremely good at that point. To get into any of the benefits of it, you need to be extremely good. I was not very confident enough, so I had to choose studies, and I did studies, and I knew that there is one way to get in there was through this. And I've done half the job. Why not? I can complete it. So just went for that particular picture. The difference between a hospital and the ground is that in hospital you are preparing yourself very well, and you're in control of things, and you do a lot of things like surgeries yourself. Everything is under your control. But when you're going into a ground for a big match, you see you are preparing everything behind, and ultimately you expect the boys whom you have worked hard, the players whom you have worked hard to deliver there. So let just wait and watch what exactly your transformation is going for. Is it a success, or is it near success, or it is a failure? So it's just a test of your test of your work, which you can see on a field. And here I'm more actively involved in whatever I'm doing in the hospital or in the OT. So this is just a difference I can see, but overall it has been the same.
Great to know. In fact, just to deviate from the topic, I, as a kid myself, was an athlete, and in fact, at some point, I was a great bowler and fielder in cricket. In fact, at some point, I think I won the best bowler award in sixth or seventh, and the same year, Mayank Agarwal won the best batsman award. So today he's playing for the IPL. But then I remember my dad being there, and he said, you can't pursue this career as a sustainable career. So please don't even think about sports as something on a long-term basis. Which is when I felt, yeah, I guess he's right, because the competition in India is so much that you can't really bet on sports as a career unless you really invest a lot in it and have a lot of faith in yourself to sort of achieve this. Great to know. And so, I mean, as you just spoke about the transition of working in a hospital and moving into something different, totally different. How does it feel to wake up in the morning and walk onto a pitch? Rather than walk into a department to do your rounds, or see a patient in the OPD or enter the OT for surgery, how does this feel?
See, this is a very different feeling actually. To be very frank, when you go and represent your club or your place which you are representing, like in the sports, be it in football, like Mohun Super Giants, or be it the Lucknow Super Giants or Mohun Bagan Super Giants. So when you go into the field, you have the aspirations of a lot of fans behind you. The fans are there every day to cheer what is happening in who is going to play, who is not going to play, who is fit, who can last 90 minutes, who cannot last 90 minutes. You have players who are very anxious. Can I sustain the entire season? How am I going to recover and play well? You have the coaches. Will I have all the squads available? You have my own medical team. Do we have a good success rate now? Will we be able to get all the players without injuries? Or if you have injury, will we get in time? See, a lot of things into your head, and you exactly know, okay, we have only five substitutes in football. Will this player who's starting will last for such that time? Can he be in the squad? Multiple things. We in cricket the same thing. You know whether this fellow, I mean, whether he can bowl if he's a bowler, whether he can bolt, whether he can complete bowling his quota of 4 overs, or whether he can bat, or whether he can field really well and can he throw well. See, all the things we look at into the medical aspect of it. There's a lot of trust and put in onto the medical team in a sports setup, and it's very important to work as a team. It's very important to have a multifactorial and I know multi and a unity in everything, in every decisions we take. So these are very important factors. So it is very important that you're taking a lot of aspirations behind you, and you know what your work is. And it looks very easy outside, but there is a lot of pressure. I don't deny that there is a lot of pressure, but that makes you better every day. And that it teaches you a lot of things, and also it gets the best out of you. So I really enjoy this thing. And well, I also say the same thing about the hospital. When you go to the OT, you have your plans. How am I going to do the surgery today? How am I going to get the patient back on time? But the feelings almost are both are similar, but you are in more control as an orthopedic surgeon in the OT compared to the things in the pitch. But definitely it's a very good feeling.
Great to know. Yeah. So it's basically all the hard work that you put in and hope that, the players and do well on the pitch, because there are so many people rooting for them. And of course, you cannot predict, who's going to have what injury. So you have to keep him at his top level of fitness, I guess. Yeah, that's true. So what are the differences between working in the IPL and the ISL?
To be very frank, money. Yes, see, it depends on the how much a club can, I mean, how much they can help. So in cricket is a very loud sport in the country, and it has got a lot of support, a lot of cooperation, a lot of sponsors, a lot of hype, a lot of media coverage. Very good. I mean, really appreciative of that. So I one day hope that every sports which is there in India, every sport will have the same kind of cooperation, same kind of support, same kind of the passion from the fans and of the country. That's very good. So for me, as working in both ISL and IPL, the ISL is a long season. It's around 7-8 months season, and when you have a 7 or 8 month season, there is a lot of work going into it, into the fitness part of it, and comparatively is a more physical game. football. Football is a more physical game, more of a contact game. The injuries are very high. I mean, the recovery rates are very less, and once in 2 3 days matches are not possible because they have their own the own stages of recovery and playing. So that is definitely there. And IPL is like they also have their stress because we have the matches very close by. You have to keep every player ready. We have 16 matches, and then we have the semifinals and finals in 2 months of time. Both have their lot of pressures in them. We have to travel from one state to the other, so one ground to the other. So it's definitely a big thing. But I think India is well placed to manage cricket much better way than football at the moment. But definitely football is getting better and better. But as a doctor, I have more hard work and more pressure and more work I feel I have to work in football. Cricket is, yes, that's definitely a better thing because it is more of a skill sport. And to be very frank, I can say that everything has its own stress. But the pressure in cricket is extremely high, whereas the challenges in football is very high. So ISL is now brought the best out of football in India, and it is helping to grow the football in India, and hoping to see India in the World Cup one day and playing football. That's all our dream we are working for. And in cricket, we are doing really well. And that has only been the difference. So I'm just hoping, well, the same, both the sports get equal support and equal passion, equal kind of support system. If it gets, I think both the sports will be fantastic. I mean, they have their own challenges, but definitely there's a more glamour and more kind of rich, rich acquisition in cricket compared to that is IPL than ISL. Yeah.
Of course. I mean, we all know, I think the ICC is one of the richest sporting bodies, or the BCCI is the richest sporting body in the world. And they have huge amounts of investment and money that's put in, and hence you can provide the best for its players. But as you said, football is something that's close to all our hearts. We also want to watch India one day at the 2026 World Cup in the United
Yeah, you
States
know
and
what? I
Mexico,
want to highlight
hopefully.
one thing, Sharon. I'll tell you, many people, there are many football fans in India. But if you ask them what they like, they will talk about Premier League, they'll talk about League One, they talk about Bundesliga, they talk about English Premier League. But very few people talk about Indian Super League. So we need that. We need Indian talents also to be supported. We want Indians to watch Indian Super Leagues too. That's when the leagues come up in life. And when the players improve, when the investments come in, when the sponsors come in, that's when the crowd comes in. That's when medical facilities will get better. Because we give a lot of things, but we need also investment. We need the clubs to sustain it also. So you cannot simply run for the sake of running. So everything is built within this. So I would encourage, if someone is watching this podcast, I would say, if you are a football fan, please watch EPL, watch La Liga, watch Bundesliga, also watch ISL. Yeah,
Nice.
please.
Of course, and I'm not lying, but the younger generation, there are a huge number of ISL fans now. The fan base is picking up. The number of players that are becoming famous in the ISL, it's definitely going on an upward trajectory.
Yeah. I
And
know. I'm very, very lucky actually because initially I worked with Goa. That's why I have a very good footballing base. And now I'm working in Calcutta. That's Kolkata to be frank. That is Mohun Bagan. You have East Bengal there. There is Mohun there. Very good footballing culture. Northeast, very good footballing culture. Kerala, very good footballing culture. So I mean, lucky to be there where I've seen a lot of passionate fans there. I mean, it is picking up. Definitely, there is no doubt. What we have seen from before to now, definitely they are picking up. A lot of sports around. A lot of people interested in that. I would just love this throughout the country. And definitely, it has been on the rise now.
absolutely. I mean, another question that just came off to my mind is while we were having this conversation is, see, do we as Indians have a little lower sense of fitness to perform at a stage like the World Cup or a high demanding sport like football? So, does football require a very high level of fitness, nutrition, and much more medical attention than a sport like cricket? Or
See, definitely yes. There are two different games. Let me come from football now. See, football is a game. I don't think there is any difference like that. But main thing is the sport how it is growing in a country. Now, if you look at Europe, the children exactly know when they want to start the sports. They start from a very small age, and the skills and technical management is very good at that age. There are a lot of factors they work in. They are much ahead of us. There are much better systems for them to come up. That's one aspect of it. Where we start taking it a bit late here in India. That's one point. Second thing is the weather. The weather, climate, everything helps them to go more, play more, be more skillful, and everything. That's definitely there. Our weather is more humid conditions in temperate climates in Asia. It's a little difficult difficult for us to get that get that same kind of impetus there. Yes, that's one of the factors. Third is the physicalities. The physicalities, how they are. How the physical presence of your players also matters a lot. And we
Absolutely.
also remember that there are certain things in games. One is your talent, one is your hard work. The talent is not under you, but if you have it, it's the best bonus you have.
Correct.
That can vary from people, but when it comes to people like hard work, it's in your hands. You can definitely work on, and you just can be close to these people. Genetics, yes, that also plays a very important role. Yes,
Absolutely.
in football these factors matter, we cannot rule it out. So
Mm.
it's very important for any country or anything to understand the basic geographical diversions in this field. It's very important to know the players well. You should know their bodies, understand everything. It's a mixed thing. It is a
Correct.
multifactorial approach.
Absolutely.
Everyone, right from the psychologists to sports nutrition, conditioning coaches, their technical coaches, the medical, the sports medicine team, everyone is very important to encourage and get the best out of the people. So that's very important. Cricket, we've already proven that there is nothing like we have proven that we are not less than anybody else. We are ruling the game right now, and probably I do say that certain factors are there for certain games, which is definitely a point to be noted. And within the days, as the sports get more awareness, in a country, then the more facilities will come up, the more what you can say, the more orientation about the particular sport will grow up, and definitely I think in coming days we will be matching with the best in the world.
I'm looking forward to that day very soon.
Absolutely, that's what I'm also hoping for. That's what I'm thinking.
So, on a lighter note, uh, your favorite IPL team?
No ways. I mean, I can say that this is Lucknow Super Giants, my friend. I know.
Wait a minute, you're kidding, right?
No, it is Lucknow Super Giants.
Welcome to Bangalore.
I know we have a good rivalry, bro. Last IPL, but still,
Does this stem from the fact that KL Rahul is also from Bangalore and you're
yeah,
also from Bangalore and he captains
yeah.
it?
See, yes, I can say that because my captain also, he has actually studied in Bangalore. He has played his career
There you go.
in
Now I know
Bangalore,
why.
and he also, he's very passionate about his sport, and he gives 100% to the team. Very nice person, a very hardworking person, and very nice to be working under a team captained by him. I think my favorite always will be Lucknow Super Giants, no doubt, because that's where I started my career in IPL, and there where I worked with the players so closely, and I really want to see one title coming up soon, hopefully next year. But I know.
But unfortunately, E Sati Cup Namde.
ನಿಮ್ದಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ದೇ ಅದು because I have my friends who are we are die RCB fans, and I really know that when we start winning, they are happy for me. They're happy for Rahul, but I know deep inside they're using me also. And when I lose, they are their first one to tease me.
Yep.
I don't mind that. It's okay as long as we are playing a game. But I can't forget the sweet victory we had against RCB in Chinnaswamy last year. That's going to be my best memory.
Stop rubbing salt into my wounds now.
That's going to be my favorite memory because that came from nowhere. So,
Career in sports medicine is, not very well understood in India.
mm.
What would your advice be to someone who's just finished his undergraduation? Or let's sort of divide this question into two questions, which is someone who's finished his undergrad and thinking of sports medicine as a career, or as opposed to somebody who's already done his orthopedics and then looking into sports medicine as a career.
Perfect.
What does that roadmap look to you in India like? Is it a sustainable option, or is there already too much competition, or do you feel there's a huge space that there's a huge void that needs to be filled?
Actually, it's a very good question because see, thanks to the Instagram page you guys have started, and I'm telling you, after I put a post, there, I had a lot of questions on this points. Actually, it's very nice that I have a platform, and thanks for that, for giving me this platform. And through this platform, I would like to tell many of my people that look, there are two drastic things which we have to understand. See, the sports medicine is a wide spectrum of things. It has exercise specialists, it has the coaching staff, it has conditioning, it has physiotherapist, it has massage therapist, there's sports medicine, and there are sports medicine doctors. Okay, it's a multiple system. I mean, it's a lot of multifactorial things. And when it comes to doctors, there are two people like whom you can say is like one is a sports physicians and sports surgeons. Now, sports physicians is like after your MBBS, you can have a degree in MD sports medicine, and you can still come to sports. And in other cases also, like me, I finished my MBBS, I finished my DORth and DNB in orthopedics, did my fellowship in arthroscopy and injuries, and I have come to the sports line. So you can do orthopedics, and still you can do a degree in diploma in sports medicine. There is MDs also in that. So all these people, even after your MBBS is a basic degree to have for must. After that, you can directly do the sports medicine degree, diploma or MD, or even after doing your degree of your choice. That is, there are many doctors who have even done community medicine also. Then they have done a degree in sports medicine. So you have the options. You can always do a sports medicine. The minimum qualification is after MBBS, and there is after any kind of specialization, you can do a 2 year course of that also. But for me, for orthopedic surgeon, it's a little bit advantageous because I'll tell you why is my experience. So for me, it is more of like I'm an orthopedic surgeon, and if I don't have a sports team, I can go to the hospital and operate and survive on myself. I don't completely depend on my sports team, and I can do a clinic setup also where it's a huge base. Now I have done orthopedics. You finished D-orth or DNB, or you done MS orthopedics, then you again can do a 2 degree sports, or you do a fellowship in arthroscopy and sports injuries. You are dealing with your musculoskeletal system. But all these people, one thing I would tell as an orthopedic surgeon, I would ask you to do two more things. You have to do a very good study, detailed study on doping. And for everybody here who have studied anything, like if you have studied pharmacy, or if you have studied physiotherapy, you have studied MBBS, all go to an online page. There is something called as a FIFA course. Just go write the questions, learn the pattern, and complete that course. It's an online course, not very difficult. Spend some time of it. You will get a clear-cut picture of the sports team, the sports setup, the what are things happening in football.
Absolutely.
The FIFA gives you a clear idea of the football. You know where you do. Like what you learn in hospitals is one thing, and what you learn in the tables, like the players and the bondings you have, you will learn here. That'll give you a small idea. Learn one degree in doping. See, I've done from a Australian doping thing. There are International Olympic Committee doping courses also. You can do one of the doping courses. So this is very important when you are a part of the clubs, or when you're sporting clubs. Very important. Along with your specialization, you need to know good doping, how to handle doping inside the sport. So you should be a good anti-doping officer. And I also did a little bit of orthopedic rheumatology, because this inflammatory conditions in athletes also is a very important thing. So I have done this for myself. So if you follow my pattern also, you can come in. So you can do a separate degree in sports medicine, no problem. That also is within your range. You can do orthopedics and do that, or you can do after MBBS. A lot of options there. So, but don't forget to do this online course of the FIFA medicine and this doping courses. So these are all going to help you a lot, and keep yourself updated. So this is very important. Now, second thing is it sustainable? Answer is yes. So there is no shortage of for anyone to survive. See, competitions will be there, but you should be trained in such a way that you will survive in that competition. I have 30 doctors or orthopedician in my area. I can't stop them, but I should be the one of them, best of them. Then only I can survive. So survival of the fittest, it's a must. So we have to work. You have to be a doctor there. You have to be a doctor here. Both have their own choices, but this is more difficult to sustain. You may go in, but staying for long is a very tough choice. You have to do very hard work there. You can't take anything lightly. You have to work hard. I'm sure if you really keep your 100% focus on it, you can survive, and you have a very good option, because there are so many sporting things coming up. There is volleyball coming up, there is cricket, there is kabaddi, there is handball, a lot of things coming up in future. So definitely there will be a lot of chances for the doctors to come in future and prosper in this beautiful field.
Absolutely. I think you said it really, really well. This reminds me of what my grandmom used to tell me, which is, even if you want to be a barber, you better be a good one. So
Absolutely.
at the end of the day, you got to be good at what you do.
Absolutely.
And if you're good at what you do, there's nothing that's going to stop you. The sky is the limit.
Yeah.
So I guess that's your advice, guys. Sports medicine is a career that you can obviously take if you're going to put in that effort in the right direction.
That's my question. Most of the people ask me the same thing. Should I do sports medicine? Should I do orthopedics? Do whatever you want, but be the best in what you are. That's my
Absolutely.
advice to you.
That's great to know. That's great to know. We watch a lot of international sports as kids growing up. It started with the Football World Cup, and then slowly we moved into, of course, the La Liga, Premier Leagues, and stuff like that. And we've seen the kind of medical attention that has been paid on the field at that level, which is the international level. So, is there a difference between sports medicine in India, sports medicine abroad? And to add another question to that, do you happen to meet doctors from different countries? Probably say you're playing Bangalore or Bombay, and then they have uh, sports medical staff from or doctors from different countries. So do you get to meet them, and what's that experience also like?
See, the only difference is there's no much difference between India and other countries. I mean, if you look at most of the world's best doctors, you see them, they are Indians. Really is very proud to say that, and they all know about us. Everyone believes in us. And if you go to UK also, you see a lot of doctors, Indian doctors, having a very good careers all over the world. And only one thing is that there is more streamline in their department. So sports medicine as a department was not actually in existence so well for few years back, until few years back, until this. I know everything thanks to this IPL, ISL. These have really ignited that kind of a thing. Other than that, it was not there much. That came into very late into existence in India. That's the only difference between us and the foreign countries. I've worked with many doctors who have come from Belgium, from Spain. I've worked with many of them. I've Malaysia. Many people have been within Asia and outside Asia. So I have been in touch with many of the doctors around. Many of the medical professionals, and all they felt was that yes, we are just improving now. So we started quite late. Now, what is you can see the entire Indian cricket team. You have entire setup. Most of them are Indians only, and they're doing a really good job. And probably I'm not like saying that they're not good. Other people are not good, but we are in power with the other people. If you see my club, you can see all of them are Indian stuff. We have all won all the titles, and huge respect for them. And they have helped us to grow here in India, and they have given their services to us. And Indians are picked up very well. And from recent days, if you look at back after the leagues have started, now IPL is one of the biggest league in the world,
Of course.
and football is not back. I mean, ISL is coming up to good levels. So, and we are doing a fantastic job there. Only the timeline, timeline when it started a bit late here. It started picking up a little late in India, but I'm sure we will definitely reach that stage quite fast. I mean, I am very hopeful of that. Because
Absolutely.
when I started the career here in 2017 to what I am seeing today, there is a lot of difference, Sharath. I'm telling you, if I can really feel that now, and I'm sure in next 7 years, I'm really excited to see where we go from now.
That's great. Yeah, looking forward to that upward trajectory and that journey being more prosperous in the field of sport. And I also, just to add on that timeline, I've also seen how Indian cricket has sort of spanned over the years, which is, we had guys who would let boundaries go through after you run for a bit. And then we moved into the stage of the Mohammad Kaifs and Yuvraj Singhs. And now we've seen Ravindra Jadeja and Kohli. So the level of fitness is also improving drastically over the decades. So that's one thing. And I also think sports in general is being given more attention. When I was in school, I had one bloody PT period. Can you believe it? One per week.
At least you're lucky, Sharath. I had one PT period in that. Some teachers used to come and take a class there
Oh
also.
my God, these guys, I tell you. I had one PT period and I felt like I was so violated as a kid. Like I needed much more time on the field than, in the classrooms. That's where my interest lied also partially. Another interesting question. Uh, you know, India has got a lot of, I would say, uh, you know, people draw a lot of conclusions. So one of them is basically if you want to do obstetrics and gynecology, you got to be a woman, right? If you want to do orthopedics, you got to be a man.
Okay.
But right now, things are changing. Okay, we've got more women in the field of orthopedics, and we've got, of course, men have always been there in the obstetric field. So, what is your take on women in general being part of sports medicine? Do they also have a great career ahead? Firstly, something to add on to that question, as you also know, the women's IPL has begun. So you can't have you. I mean, there are a lot more Premier Leagues for women that are coming up. So does it mean that women now can get into this field as well? Of course, they always can, but do they have an opportunity to do well, just like a man would?
See, it's a very nice question you're asking me. See, I think all over the world we have the stereotypes. I mean, yeah, the men's team. I don't think women will gel with. And the women's team, men cannot work or something like that. See, I've been lucky enough because when I was in orthopedics, I've seen many female PGs being senior or junior to me, and they're doing really well, and they're very in par with us. I mean, that's very good thing. And being in IPL also, there are female team doctors in IPL, men's IPL, And it is very it's very nice to know that. And I've also worked with a dietitian who was a female in our sports setup when I worked with FC Goa. So I mean, there are opportunities, there's no denying that, but we have to push in for that. You have to come into that setup. We have to break the stereotypes. That's very important. And second thing is the self belief. I mean, it's very important. We are all professionals, yeah. I mean, we are all medical professionals. It doesn't matter. The patient does matter. The players are the important things too. Whether it's a male player, female player is not an important thing. Everyone is talented, everyone is good enough. Get a good diagnosis, get the good recovery for them, get a good injury rehab for them. Let's prevent some good injuries with them. It doesn't matter whether you're a male or a female. I think there is an equal opportunities in India, and it is definitely going to be only better from now. And I have since I've known many of my colleagues in IPL. I know some clubs who are having the team doctors who are women. So I think they're doing really well, and they are continuing with them. So which shows that they're in the right track and they're doing a good job. So why not? I think that should never be a
Criteria.
criteria. But yes, we have to break some stereotypes. That is true. I
Yes.
mean, we want more males even going into the female teams and getting the setup and building them of that. We want women to come in the mainstream and do that. It's very important, and I totally support that view. It is all about when you come for an ACL injury, whether it's a female athlete, I operate. When it's a male athlete, I operate. So what is stopping you from doing inside the injury prevention inside the sports setup? I mean, doesn't make sense, isn't it? So
Absolutely.
it's definitely equal opportunities are definitely there. We need to break the stereotypes. We need to infuse that kind of the right spirit in them and the right direction and the right information. I think that should definitely be there.
Beautifully said. A lot of doctors, see you sharing the dressing room with some magnanimous players.
Mm.
So, what are the kind of questions you get asked
Sharon,
by
I
this?
got a shock once, man. You asked me dressing room. I thought of changing room,
Hey,
man.
no, what I meant was,
Okay.
what I meant was,
A dressing room. Okay.
no, no, yeah. Basically, not the dressing room. What I meant was, you share the stage,
I don't
or
share any rooms, huh?
yeah.
Yeah, I
So,
understood your question. Coming to the point, Sharon, yeah, that's true. It looks nice when you meet what your idols are. When you are small, you look at them growing, look at them playing, and you like, okay, look, you're when you're big fans of them, and when you come in front of them and meet you face to face, it's definitely a different feeling. And I think myself only, I was so happy. First of all, I was so happy, and I was happy that okay, thankfully I've reached here where I want to be, and meeting them was definitely an extra feather on the cap. And also we talk to them, we interact with them, and they also tell us like what are their struggles. Every person has his story behind them. I mean, every person from behind has taken a lot of hard work, and we all see that benefits now, but nobody understands what is there on the darker side of it, how hard they have been going through to reach where they are. So this is always it gives you a good mirror of the how their career has shaped. That make teaches us a lot of lessons. It's very easy to tell, okay, look, he's earning so much money, he's a big player now, but you don't know how much he has worked hard, how much he has slept when he was small, how much he has fought with his parents, how much his parents might have worried about him. So when they were starting right from the beginning, when they in a few years back, a few decades back, there was no security if you do a sports thing. Now you have IPL, ISL. What about before? A big salute to all of them. They have reached here, and they were never sure what they would want to be. And the parents will definitely be scared. Like, what are the my parents are very worried for me until you reach. What is the guarantee that you will play in the national level? Yeah. I mean, how can you just say no to studies? Studies is very important for you. At least it'll keep you safe. And we had to go with that flow. Now you see the students having some confidence. There are some sports schools, who give more importance to sports. Yeah, there is a lot of changes there, but that is what I'm saying. It has been very happy. I was very happy, and I'm very happy that I've learned a lot of things from them. And I want many of the students right now, if they are very good in sports, excellent. If they are not good in sports and they've taken academics, there is a way to come to sports, just like how I did. There is a way. Study well, take up a sports thing, come and work with the team, help the athletes to achieve what they wanted to do, what you wanted to do at one point of time. Now help them achieve that. That's the best thing you can be happy about. That's the passion you should have from your childhood. This is what I tell
absolutely.
everyone.
Yeah, absolutely agree, Nelson. I mean, as you said, the amount of hard work and sacrifice that these people who are right now in the current scenario, which is like, players like Kohli and Rahul, who really put in so much effort during the days when IPL or ISL didn't exist. So,
Absolutely.
these guys were betting on something or taking a gamble nearly. And that puts a lot of pressure on you because you're doing something that's, not got a really sure shot end. You don't know if you're going to be playing for the country tomorrow, and still you take that gamble, put in that effort, and it comes when it comes through, you feel really proud of
Yeah,
yourself.
now you just take an example of KL. He was in Mangalore. His mother and mom and dad are big professors in Mangalore University in KRS, one of the best engineering institute in Mangalore, and they have been learned people. And KL comes from that family, and he has taken up sports. Have a look at how much the parents have given him the support, and how much he what his parents would have told him when he wanted to go into sports. Definitely they were more academically oriented, isn't it? I mean, when they're taking up sports, there should have been that fear in them also, but they have somehow, KL has managed to give their confidence to them. Parents have still believed in him and given him a chance, and this is exactly what we have to do. This is a very beautiful lesson that, give your children, as parents, teach them what they are good at. Allow them to take their passion, what they are good at. Don't make them do what you want. Tell them what they want and give it to them. And when
Exactly.
they are going in a particular direction, guide them, teach them. It's very important. That's where the role of parenting comes into picture,
Absolutely.
and it's very important. And I see, I'm telling you, is I've seen him from last 2 years, how well he's taking care of himself, be it having for what he eats, what he spends time. He may have been a very good cricketer today, very good cricketer, but I'm telling you, the hard works are very, very, very not easy for everyone to do it. And I've seen when he had a bad phase, everyone has a good point, everyone has a bad phase. I've seen how many pressure was there on him, how many people used to write messages and all. I was feeling bad because they don't know the other side of the story. Very feeling very sad. I'm so happy for him now. He is doing really well, and I always believed he would do it because, see, the form is temporary, the class is permanent. And being from where he has started in Mangalore to take up this cricket and flourish in Mangalore, because Mangalore is made for education. You have only colleges, and banks in there, and he has reached this stage. A big salute to him. I'm telling
Absolutely.
you, people who are in Mangalore will really appreciate this. And I'm also telling of everyone here that he's definitely a best idol I've seen for me. And not because I work for his team, but having known from where he has come, I and now he's keeping wickets, batting well for you, doing so well. I'm always been a big fan. So I want, what is it, the positives you take from these things is that we allow the children to do what they want, give them adequate, no matter, you may be extremely big in academics, a big person in academics, you may be a big person in sports. If your child is saying I want to do academics, allow him. If you're a big person in academics, your son science says I want to become a cricketer or footballer, allow him and give him the right direction. Don't get angry with him, because if they get the right direction, they will flourish. Do not
Absolutely.
force anyone.
Absolutely. I think this message is important on a deeper note, which is more of, don't try and live your dreams through your children,
Absolutely.
which is, give them what best is required, and then let them
I
do
also
what they do.
want to add to it, Sharon, that I don't depend on your children. I've brought them up. I have done this to them. Doesn't mean that tomorrow they will take care of me. No, don't do that selfish motive.
Yeah.
We have to have a motive that what is our duty, we do it. And nobody is stopping you to sacrifice everything and do everything for your children. Nobody's telling you that.
Yeah.
Give what is important and take your what is worth for you. Never have the selfish motive. Do whatever is required. Take care for you right now and for future. Take enough what is required and then move on. So I want to be that very clear with this, because this is not only in creating an emotional build, it also helps you to go for your passion. Also, your emotional is very important. You get that support from your parents. Very
Absolutely.
important in
If your
sports.
core is strong, then you can
Yes,
achieve,
we call this mental health. You should
absolutely.
have a very good mental health. It's
Absolutely.
very important.
I think we're going to have future segments on mental health very soon. And
Yeah, yeah.
just to, as you said, the core of somebody is very vital. You have a strong core, you can sort of, stand out there and perform in life. So
A-
that's the beauty of
Absolutely.
parental reassurance, I
Totally
guess.
agree, Sharon. Totally.
So it's awesome and really nice to be this glamorous doctor that you are, right?
Am I glamorous?
Yeah, I mean, you
Okay.
definitely have got a lovely smile. And
Okay. Yeah.
so, being this glamorous doctor, what's it like? What's a typical work day like for this glamorous doc?
See, it all begins from one match to the other. So we have off seasons. So right now I'm mainly handling the football at the moment. That is the Mohun Bagan Super Giant. So I'll be busy till the March. Okay, and now we have we had a Duran Cup up there. We won the tournament. So that was like a preseason to me. It was a knockout tournament. So every 3-4 days we have a match. So from one match to the other match, we see amount of days before a match. I would definitely be dreading that if I have a match in 3 days time, because the worst day for a footballer after playing is just 48 hours after that. So we have to, first the match is done. So first thing what you do is like before a match. So before a match, at least 3 days the preparation starts. So that start with the loading, gym. Then you have the match day minus two, match day minus one preparations. We need to give them right number of supplements. We need to give them good recovery, good electrolyte balances, good food. So I do the menu myself for them. So
Wow.
it's very important for them to take what the right stuff is and what amount of energy is required. So on the
Calorie
match day we
count.
need more carbs. Other days we need more less carbs because you don't want to increase your fat. And when they want to if they have the extra fat, they should lose the fat but not the muscle mass. So it's a very challenging job. The first day goes into preparation, minus day. On the match day again, we see their sleep is good. We see their activation in the mornings. They should last for 90 minutes. Trust me, Sharon, 90 minutes playing is not a joke. You try yourself playing 10
Absolutely.
15 minutes, you'll go die off. I mean,
No,
it's
I mean,
90 minutes
I
is,
can do a 90
yeah,
minutes, but
90.
then I'm really huffing and puffing.
Exactly. And you have to be at that level and do regularly after weeks after weeks, and months after months. In football it's not going to be easy. So if you talk me about a footballing perspective, the match ends, I have to see them to sleep well. The next day is going to be a little bit of recovery. 20th is the worst day, the body is feeling very tired. Recover. Next day we have one day, we have to start the preparation for the next match. So there is definitely a lot of work going behind the scenes. The medical team is 24 into 7 active. The sports medicine team is 24 into 7 active, doing their respective jobs and the roles. Being cricket also the same. Match day minus one, match day minus two. Maybe traveling. Then take another 2 days of recovery. Then you have to play a match. Then you have to travel again and play a match. The difference between matches is 2 3 days in IPL. So it's very important to keep them strong and healthy and perform to their potential. It's not going to be a joke. So it's very hard. A lot of planning and systemic goes into the picture, and from the player's perspective and also from a medical perspective, it's a two different things. You are right, it looks very glamorous. Yes, job is also glamorous, but there's a lot of pressure. Trust me, Sharon, it's not so easy. You have a lot of pressure. You have the clubs have paid them for something, right? They want the best out of them, so it's our job to get the best out of them. I may have 11 players, but to keep them 11 players playing on the squad, 30 or 40 playing when healthy, it's not going to be an easy job. All glamorous part associated with is one aspect of it, and the other aspect of it is the keeping them and delivering it and delivering to the right way,
Okay.
where I can please everybody from the coaching staff till the management. It's very important. So
As they say, the best sailors have sailed the roughest of seas.
absolutely.
So
So when you're exposed to the toughest moments, the best out of you comes out. This is not only for me. I'm telling you, expose yourself to the best of best situations. I'm telling you, you will get the best out of yourself. Once you
absolutely.
get the best out of yourself, then you can relax and say, yes, I've done it.
Yeah, absolutely. This is some advice for all of us
Yeah.
folks, guys. This is some golden words that are being spoken by Dr. Nelson Pinto. So, I mean, you mentioned that you do so many things for a player. There's match day minus three, match day minus two, match day minus one, his nutrition, his physio, his fitness. There's so much that goes behind this whole IPL that we don't see. We only see the final end product of it. So, I mean, just as a doctor, I wanted to know who are the other healthcare professionals that work with you?
See, we as a medical team, we have it begins with a strength and conditioning coach. There is be a doctor. There will be physiotherapists, maybe two or three. We have masseurs. So these are the main core to the team, and everybody has their roles. So today in this particular podcast, I would like to thank all my colleagues, of my who has worked with my team, be it masseurs, be it physios. Thank you, thank you guys. You have done a great job. To what I am here today is also we have done as a team. So I really want to
Absolutely.
thank them on this podcast today. And it is always I've told them, like, it's always a teamwork. I mean, teamwork is very important. Strengthening conditioning coach plays a very important role in high performance, and he wants the data from us, whether we have cleared him from the basic muscle structures, whether they are absolutely correct. Is there any chance of injury from a perspective? So being an orthopedic surgeon always helps them to give them more things. So ask them, like, what is the status of ligaments like, what are the status of muscles like, are they hydrated, are they good, how is the power, everything is great. So I get this information from my physios, from my masseurs. They tell me how good they are, how good they are. Sometimes it's very important. We always underestimate masseurs. I'll tell you, it's very important because when you give a massage, the people open up. Whatever is there in their mind, they open up and they tell the masseurs. And all adequate medical detailed information, these come and tell me. So, look, sir, I was doing this massage. It's tight. His erectors were very tight, sir. I don't know. I had to give extra pressure. Should I give him more or not? That's a very good indicator. Maybe it's spasmodic there. We need to interact there. Then my physios, they mobilize, they do a taping, they do a protective mechanism, they stimulate them well, so tell them everything is good, they give the releases, find out the knots. So everyone has their role, and strength conditioning coach, in addition to what he's doing, he'll be a link between the medical team and the coaching staff. So it's very important that we have a load management thing system inside the game. Like, okay, where the load is good today, are the boys good for yesterday? So there's something called a subjective load and the objective load. Subjective load is what you see around, and that's where we need a good medical team. So the players may be enjoying their working out. And if you ask them out of 10, if you do an assessment, they will say, okay, I'm 5 out of 10 tired, or 8, 7 out of 10 tired. But when you look at them, you know whether they are telling the truth or not. So there should be always a balance. So we have a GPS, right? We have a protective devices on all the players. You see, they be wearing some kind of a instrument and running. We put some strap around them, and sometime on the hand and sometime on the back. There is a track of seeing how much runs they have done, how much speeds they have done, what is their average speed, what is their balances. Gives you a complete data of an
Wow.
objective thing. Subjective, we see.
Okay.
How are they moving? Is it matching? Then it tells us that, okay, this guy is in the right track. If it's not up to the mark, we know something is wrong. Then you take them back. For example, I'll give you, like, one person is running, but he's putting 50% more weight on his left. What is wrong with this right one now? Is there something wrong? Why is he putting on the more weight on his right? Something wrong with his hip, knee, ankle. So this gives an indicator. This is very important as a medical team to identify these things. So these are very important. This is only possible when you have a conditioning coach, your physio, your masseurs, and myself, and as a doctor. We all work as a team. We meet as a team. We work as a team, and that's why I am thankful to my team. That's why we have won trophies. I can never say I'm a doctor, that's why I won trophy. I always say we. Whenever there's a word we inside a team, and that the value of we is the best at the sports level. Mark
Absolutely.
my
I
words.
think each of these pillars add to the strength of the foundation, and
Absolutely.
that makes things better. So, I
Absolutely.
mean, does KL ever walk up to you and say, uh, Dr. Nelson, I know I'm not feeling good in my right shoulder. Do you think you can have a look at it? Or, again, is this something that they come up to you often with problems, or is it something that you assess?
No,
And
it is both. Both. It's both. And sometimes, if before the match they say that I am feeling something, they come up and do tell us that I was feeling a bit tired and so on. These things, or there is some issues there. Can you help us out with that? Sometimes we ask them. Like if we see something which is not right with them, we do ask them. So it may be me or it may be anyone in my team. We should always be positive in that. Even if my physio asks, he comes and discusses with me. If someone tells me, I tell my physios, look, this is what he has told me. So it's more important in a sports setup, the player coming and telling you is very important. It is for the team. It is not for me. That's very important. We have to learn once you are in the setup. It's very important to understand that, okay, we are a team, and he's telling us information, and I have to diverse some information to my team, understand what the goods and bads are, what are the treatments, what are solutions we can give, and give it as a team. So this is very important. So I think that's where you have the best of the teams from the rest of the teams. So you should think as a team. That's where I think I have found a lot of success here, because this is what we follow wherever I go. I have wonderful colleagues I've met in my life. I'm blessed to have them in my careers, and have got wonderful athletes. Again, I'm very happy for them. So it's because of them where I am today. So I am good as a doctor. I'm happy that people appreciate that. Very good. But as a sports doctor, I think a lot of people have helped me to be where I am. So I think it's a perfect, the perfect place to give a big thank you to them and say that thank you once again, guys. It's really really nice to be here.
absolutely agree. I mean, they're part of your entire team that does this really good job to put out these players and make them great on the field again. So, what's it like to treat these IPL players or the ISL players? How is it different?
See, the treating is almost the same. I mean, the player wise is almost the same. But when you treat some players, like, okay, you see, okay, and suddenly, Nelson, what have you done here? I mean, you're treating the best athletes in the world. I mean, wow, that's great. I mean, you have reached this level. The management trusts you, the athlete trusts you. And, Nelson, are you doing your justice to your job? That's what I'm thinking in the first place, is that, am I the right person to deal with this? And I'm happy that I've reached here. Happy they trust me, happy they believe in me. And it's always nice, be it in IPL or ISL. I'm always, I always endorse their challenge when they had. And the beautiful thing about this is the trust. When they come with the trust, it's more, go out of our box to give them the best what we
Yes.
can. When they come with some solution, giving them a solution is very important. Because tell me, the athlete's span is very short. And most of the people say, look, they are taking so much money. No, it's like a very short time. They have to do whatever they want in that short span of time.
Correct.
It's a very short span of time. Then they have their job. That's different. But that passion and what you want to do, and it's time to build their life in that entire span. Every minute is important. Every day is important. Every second is important. Let us, we are there for them. So our job is to make that productivity as much as possible, so that they take the best out of it and flourish in their respective department. So that's what it always makes you feel good, that you are seeing them and they trust you. That's a good blend.
We all know the journey of a sportsman, which is, it starts from school, and then you move on to a district level sports, and then you move into a state level sports, and then finally you get picked up. You're playing for Karnataka and the Ranjis, and they pick you up from there. And then if they feel you're doing really well, you get selected for a national team. And maybe before that or after that, you start playing for your clubs in the IPL or the ISL. So, what are the tests that players go through before they enter such a high level of playing?
See, there are something called as PCMS. We call pre-competitive assessment test. I mean that we do it in football. We do it in cricket also. And as we all know, the very important thing right now is awfully the cardiac injuries. So we do a
Correct.
echocardiography, because a lot of sudden deaths in the football field have happened in the past.
Absolutely.
So that's why one of the important things is you being a cardiologist, you'll know
Yeah.
better.
Absolutely.
So I'm really dread. One important thing is hypertrophic cardiopathy.
Uh,
That is the biggest worry I have. So we do all this, this
the
the
pre-assessment of
pre-assessments,
cardiac
very
evaluation,
important. Every
etc.
year we
Yeah.
do it. Every year, or
Absolutely.
every 6 months we do it, and that is for something basic. I mean, a
Correct.
very basic screening.
I think this sort of started after Ericsson fell in the
No,
World Cup.
even before, there was a guy called Ronaldo who was playing in Dempos long time
Correct. In
back.
Dempo, I
Yeah,
remember
Dempo,
this.
yeah,
Yeah,
and he
yeah, yeah.
was in here only, I think, in
Correct,
Bangalore,
correct, correct. He passed
and
away in
passed
this
away.
field, and he was taken
Yeah,
to
he got
Mali.
a
Yeah, yeah, I
knock,
remember
and
this.
and
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
where that episode actually opened up the eyes of medical professionals in India.
Hmm.
That's when the physios and the doctors started really making into the football team. So, it is very important for us to know that, because even one of my colleague was telling me that he started his career here only during that episode. After that, he was called for one team. So he was a physio in Bangalore itself. And so it's very important that these episodes are there. So a good test which involves cardiac, musculoskeletal. There is a general examination, and there is also history and all that stuff. Cricket also is the same. We have so in football it's more of the lower body. Cricket will be the upper and the lower body. For the goalkeepers, we need to have the upper body too. So it depends on players to players and departments. But over the years, I have done certain tests for myself, like which I feel is a very important thing. So there are certain blood tests which I do myself for every player. I ask my club for my permission and I do that. And also I do certain screenings of be it respiratory, like spirometry, peripheral vision. These are very important for any football player or cricket player. The peripheral visions and your visual acuity, all these things are very important. So I do a thorough testing for them, which I add on to the extra thing what the FIFA asks for, or the ICC board asks for. But we keep a track, so we can make a profile of every player and keep. So that will help us in a long term. When the injuries happen, we can always use it as a control. So that's how we work. So there are a lot of assessments which will be done by me, by the physios also, and also by the conditioning coaches for the endurances, and make a note of everything. Finally, we talk, we discuss, and we prepare a program for them. So that's how it works in the sports setup.
Before the IPL and the ISL came in, it was pretty much playing for the country, right? So you played against Australia, you had a good month and a half off before you went into the next thing. And now players are so cramped with such short schedules that you finish the IPL and then you have the World Cup. You finish the World Cup and then you have, you're touring New Zealand in New Zealand, or you're doing touring Australia in Australia. So there's a very short period of rest and rehabilitation that these guys get. So how demanding is it for these
Yeah,
guys?
that's a very important question you're telling me. I'm telling you, this is why I'm telling you, that's where the real test of a medical team is. That's where the sports doctor comes into a picture. No matter, keep your orthopedics aside, keep your sports medicine aside. The player tomorrow 2 days not playing and doesn't deliver, you are questioned. I mean, you definitely questioned. So it's very important to train, to recover is very, very important. And in a short span of time, every day we find new solutions, being cryo or many other, many modalities have come into the picture. These all things I've learned when I go into the sports levels. And I'm telling you today, I've learned a lot from physios too, how they helped in the muscle rehab. I've learned a lot from conditioning coaches. I've learned a lot from masseurs. I mean, every day is a learning practice for them, and every day is a new challenge is put on to us. The best team is find solution. There is no there is no room for excuses here. If you want to be the best from the rest, you have no excuses. You have only solutions. And every day you are thrown up with a new challenge. You think and you come back with a solution. And this has been from the last 7 years, and we are doing that. I mean, if you are playing, we are playing. I mean, we have to get the best out of it. If you are good, yes, we'll keep them. If you are injured, we have to rehabilitate them, get them prepared, and get them ready. So that's how it is. But never force an injury, never. And our job is mainly to see that not only they play, but see that they have to take care of their well-being. Okay, we just can't just for the sake of playing. You cannot put them in playing. We have to take care of their well-being, and also their post-retirement life shouldn't be because of some stupid decisions you have taken now. So we have to respect that. We have to respect their game, respect the dedication for their country, their passion for the country. I think everything is weighed equally, and then finally a decision is taken. But I'll tell you in short, I can say it's the to be summarize the stuff. I think it would be the total teamwork of the medical team and the coaching team and the players. Together, we find a solutions and we go ahead with that.
I mean, what kind of pressure does this put on you to perform, and not just you performing, but to hope that your patient is also going to perform at the highest level?
See, this is what I'm always told you, that when I started my career, when I started operating on these athletes, you don't only not only you come back to a level where they have to be normal, they have to be the pre-injury levels. That's where the best comes out of it. And sometimes people ask me, Nelson, what is the different thing you have by being in the team and away from the team? That's the next. That's the crux here, because I see this player day in day out. And if I'm sitting in the hospital, I get a player of a hamstring injury, maybe with a grade two. Uh, okay, this is meant. Okay, I'll see you after 3 weeks. I'll come after a week, come after 10 days, come after 15 days. What I've learned inside sport is something different, something beautiful. Everybody has a different recovery potential. I'm doing the podcast telling you this, that I am confident enough to get a player in 7 days if everything is right. I have the confidence, and I've done it also before, because it's about the respect, and we respect the recovery potential of the team. I see them day in and day out. Two levels of treatment from my physios, my masseurs, my conditioning, and everything. I've done it in FC Goa, I've done it in Mohun Bagan FC, I've done it in LSG. This gives the confidence for the players that yes, I can come on time. Never tell the player 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks. I don't believe in that. I mean, many people have their views. I have my view. I believe, don't give a timeline. Assess them on a daily basis. Wait for the acute phase. If you have pain, wait for the pain to go off. Then start your exercises. Let us give us a range, and let's see how they are doing. And my physios have responded beautifully. I have a physio when I worked in FCGO also. I worked in my physio right now who is working with me. He has also believed that that's the right way to go ahead, because when you have a player day in and day out with you, you have some advantage. Take advantage of that, because what are you getting? One benefit, you're getting the player's time. The productivity is better. The player is happy. The mentally is very happy that he's coming back from injuries, and also take care that he's not re-injured. Don't simply get him for the sake of getting in. And we have not only got them in fast and injuries, but we have seen that they don't get re-injured, and they have not gone back to where they are. So we have done a very good job in that, and I'm very happy with that thing. There is a difference. If someone asks me, what is the difference of you sitting there? When I'm sitting in the hospital, I don't see him. I'm seeing him today. I'm seeing him after 10 days. He might have been much better what I'm seeing on the 10th day and 5th day only. This 5 days we have lost, right? So, I mean, when I'm in the team, I'm a part of the team. I'm emotionally attached to the team. And I know, oh my God, what have I done? I missed the player out. My team is suffering. My coach is suffering. Everyone's job is on lines just because I've been very casual. So, here, this is the difference. This is what a doctor inside a setup. This is the message to all the clubs I'm telling you. Why you want a good doctor inside the medical team? Why you want a good physio inside the medical team? Because you don't want your players to lose good amount of time. No, the club doesn't suffer. So seeing your player every day has a definitely much bigger advantage than you're sitting in the hospitals and doing it. In a hospital setup, I'll tell you what I would do. I would be very careful. I was saying, okay, 3 weeks. I would say 4 weeks, because if he takes 4 weeks, I know he's safe. I am safe. My opinions are safe. But it takes a really, it's too much of a challenge to get a 3 weeks person in 2 weeks. I tell him 2 weeks. If he doesn't come in 2 weeks, you don't trust me. This doctor doesn't know anything. So it's always a challenge. You tell something and get it faster. It's very easy to tell late. So I always doctor has said me 6 weeks out. I said, has he seen you now? Has he seen you now? No, he has seen you once. How can he tell you 6 weeks out? I'm seeing you day in and day out. And this is what I started with. Today, there is no questions. My coaches trust me. My management trusts me. My players trust me. And that's why I am successful. This is the reason of what I'm telling my colleagues around here, to all my people around here, all the medical professionals. Respect the body. Every day is a mirror. Everything gives you an idea. Every body gives you an idea. Learn that, respect that, and go according to your plans. We have now, for example, if I give you, there is a pain on palpation. Wait for the palpation pain to go. It may go in 3 days. It may go to 10 days. It may go in 2 weeks for someone. No problem. Respect that. If you can get it in 5 or 7 days, then go for the next step in 7 days. Don't wait for 3 weeks because some books have said say 6 weeks. Some articles have said 6 weeks. Don't do that. What are you there for? Use your practical experience. Theoretical and practical need not be. Telling you life is a science is not permanent every day. It keeps changing, changing, changing. There are some people telling me last time we put ice for acute injuries. Today ice is not required. I said don't talk that bullshit. What is successful for you? What has given you success? Stay with that. I am happy with that. I'm giving icing after injuries. I can under injuries to be two types. One is physiological and one is pathological. If a person, if my coach has put into a conditioning thing, right? Imagine he has put in a high intensity conditioning. Today he is in conditioning zone. The body is adapting well. Don't give ice and stop it. Allow it. It's a good, good adaptation for the body. If he is having a soreness, a twist, or an ankle sprain, give ice because it's pathological. You don't need that. And there are a lot of theories saying body is healing. If you start giving what is the right thing, body also knows it. I've never seen when I've given icing right things, the swelling up to a high level and then waiting for the swelling to come down. People have done very well, and I've given icing, they have done very well. So I would stick to that. So I would say for all the medicos around here, trust what you have done. See if he has given you success. Follow that. There is no need to double check or doubt yourself. Seeing something or listening something or someone telling you something. This is what I want to tell. This is what the message I want to tell. Not only as a sports surgeon, even in your daily practice. So this is only the difference I want to say. How it is different from being inside the team as a doctor and sitting outside as a consultant. So this is how my approach has been. It's very personal opinion what I want to say.
Wonderful to know.
I don't know about other things, but this is what my personal opinions, which I have dealt over a period of time.
Great to know, Dr. Nelson. Fantastic. So, I mean, you mentioned that you deal with a lot of injuries with different players. What are the common injuries that you face on a day-to-day basis, and what's that one injury, or maybe what are those injuries that you would dread as a doctor to sort of treat?
See, for me, when in the sports setup, and especially in the season, right? If I am very scared of two injuries, one is the fractures, and second one is the ACL. Because not because you're worried about the injuries, but the process is big. It's around 9 months where you lose a player, be it football, be it cricket. You lose them for a long period of time. Not that other injuries are less, but they're quite. You can bring them a bit earlier. And the commonest injuries I've seen is the muscle injuries. And it can be because of poor conditioning, or it can be because of fatigue. And the fatigue ones are the most stress to have because they are the one which come towards the end of the season. And when you are in the end of the season, they are the important injuries because you can't miss even a single player out of one match. They are all like knockouts or they're the finals. That's the big challenge I have. But yes, muscle injuries has been in and out all the time. And some of the injuries which are not under our control is the contact injuries. So that maybe is head injuries, concussions. So these will keep you out of the game for some time, but you can get them back. But sometimes contact injuries is totally not under your control, and you end up having a fracture. Difficult. So certain things which are not in control are the little bit thing I'm worried about. Muscle injuries, yes. Some things we can, some things we can't. Sometimes we have a schedules, as you told me, that very back-to-back matches we can't do much. But we try our best. I mean, we try our best. So, but for me, the most injuries are always the muscle injuries. And in the match, I'm more worried about the contact, especially the head injuries, the concussions. I mean, concussion injuries and stuff. And sometimes ACLs. That's where ACL, PCL. Then I don't. And cricket, I'm worried about labral tears. They also take any shoulder injury will take around 3 to 4 months. That's why these injuries, any operative surgeries, any injuries require operative surgeries are a little bit of scary to me because we can't get the player back on time. So if he's a very important player, it depends on what position he plays, what phase he is of the team or the club you're representing. So that all matters a lot, yeah.
I mean, you're mentioning that a lot of players have concussions. I've observed that recently they do a lot of these concussion tests. Can you just throw some light on what a concussion test
I'll tell you something. It's very important. Is we have a lot of theoretical explanations for that, and on the field I have very little time. In the football there are something called as SCAT 5, Glasgow Coma scale. Yeah, there are a lot of things there, but I don't have time so much to do it. The referees give you the adequate time, but you have to take a call. Because the match will start, and if you are not taking a right call, you may be one player less, which can add to the dynamics of the team and can be in a compromising situation in the game.
Absolutely.
So it's very important. So certain things which I follow in my practice, the first thing I do is I take a a torch by myself and just look for the light reflex.
Correct.
Just see if
Any anisocoria or
just see
anything
if
of that
anything
sort.
of that. The head injury gives you a light injury on that. I mean, any injury you haven't, you know that something is wrong. Second thing is like I ask him about some questions, very simple, like where are you, what are you doing, what is the orientation, some test, whatever I can do quickly. And if I know nothing is there, then I give on the thumbs up and say move on. But if it is like if the player is not responding, then we need to take it out. So we have an on field we do, and away from the field. So once you are away with the field, then you have different aspects of it. You see the injuries, Glasgow Coma Scale, memory testing, Maddox testing, and a lot of other tests, neurological examinations we need to do, ask them questions and stuff. Very important. All this assessment happens outside, but that you have to rule out him out of the game. We take a call on table. I mean on field. So if we feel that he's good to continue, we give a thumbs up and we'll play,
Okay.
and we'll watch him for some time. Okay, and if you are in doubt, keep him out because you don't take a risk.
Correct.
You're very 100% sure it's not a thing to move on. Yes, continue with that. And again, it depends on people say, Nelson, if it's the finals, what do you do? Like you take a small risk. Answer ideally no, but here and there, yes. I mean, you feel confident with that comes with the experience. I mean, on the experience, you know whether this guy can survive or not. That's very good. I mean, initial stages, yes, you take some risks, but I personally will never do that. But you will be forced, but you should stand firm in that. And always the player safety is very, very important. And only if I'm 100% sure, I continue it, because that reflects very bad on you, on your medical team, on your club. So you're representing a big people, not only yourself. So it's very important when the whole world is watching that you take the right decision. So always the player safety is the first important and the priority important thing. So I would say first basic 2-3 tests I do, which I can my experience I know if it is good, and then came him out, and then we a complete follow up. And if it's a concussion and all, we don't get him at least for a 7 days time. So that's a clear cut thing that he needs a good treatment. So there are a lot of, as we all know, the confusion, dizziness, memory loss, amnesia, all are very important. So all these things
Nice to know.
are very, very crucial. And now I think recently in football they've introduced something called as a concussion substitute.
Correct.
So that has
Concussion
not
substitute.
completely come into the picture. We don't have it in the ISL yet, but
I mean,
once that
of
happens,
course, yeah. Compared to cricket, you have it more in football because you
yeah,
head the ball a lot more.
yeah. But here, what happens is like in cricket, you have five. I mean, football, you have five substitutes. You can change it here,
Yeah.
even if you don't have a concussion substitute. Cricket is not like that. So we need now, and I am not very well aware. I think they have that concussion rule also, but sometimes it can be used, or it's under the. We have seen them using it. That's a good development, and if there is an option, that should be the thing even in football faster, because that's going to save a lot of lives.
There was a recently this incident that happened, between Afghanistan and Australia, where Glenn Maxwell was having this bo-
Cramps, yeah, yeah, yeah,
blasterous innings. He was going crazy, on the
yeah,
pitch, and then he had this cramp.
yeah, yeah.
So I'm sure a doctor would have probably gone onto the pitch just like you and had him tested and given him hydration and tried a lot of physiotherapy or whatever can work in that short span of time. But
Absolutely.
then there was no other option for Maxi to still continue to play.
Correct.
And I think him continuing to play without taking a single run after that, with I think he had 51 runs to score. He
Exactly.
had Cummins on the other side. The guy didn't take a single run, stood there and scored all those 51 runs, reaching his 200. Now, I mean, that is a situation where, it sort of taken his decision on his own and decided to hurt
So,
himself.
yeah, I think in this situation, I can say the medical needs talent. I mean, see, there's a mixture of two. He's Glenn Maxwell, and he's playing against Afghanistan, yes, but he's a great batsman. He's an elite batsman, and he had the confidence that without running he could do it. See, but what we have to see from the medical point of view is the cramps, and that cramps were very systemic kind of a thing. It's not restricted to one area. It can begin in the. I have people having that. So from the legs, it can go up to the hands, and then even come to the respiratory muscles too. So it's a very important thing to know is that there is electrolyte imbalance. So the preparation for the cramps happened long time before. So we have to assess the time what are the weather. So every before a match, we always assess the weather, humidity. Humidity is a very important thing for us. So the preparation for the cramps goes very early into it, like 3 or 4 days before the match. We have a good. That's the reason why we ask to have them a good carbohydrate diet, maintain a good electrolyte imbalance, make a good vitamin balance, and also having a good recovery and sleep. There is something called as a dynamic stretching that happens before the match. There is something called as a static stretching which happens during the cool down and also the day of the match, early morning, neuromuscular activation. A lot of factors to it. And along with that, I also believe in giving certain pickle juices, which I have my own contents, which I learned and I've told my content. So wherever I am, I tell my chef that this is the ingredients I'm giving you. I want the pickle juice, so I do it a lot in my football and cricket also. Who are wanting to take, they take it. And also we try to give them some fruits like banana, which are high in potassium. We also give them the energy gels, the reloads with the high calories, carbohydrate, and rich and protein rich drinks. So we do a lot of things for them. So it's a very big process, and it is a very hideous process. It's a long process. It begins, and it's very common when players play in a different climate which are not used to, and very important. That's why in this cases vitamin D and calcium are extremely important, along with electrolytes. So it's very important that they have been taken care of a supplement. That's why I said when you're a team doctor, apart from your orthopedics, you also need to be good at your diet and nutrition. It's important aspects you need to learn, and also what they have to take and what not they have to take for and doping things also. So it's very important to know all this information when you are working in a sports setup. Something additional to what you are actually.
And what happens when when a player has a more serious injury? Say he has a head injury, a ball hits him on the head. I'm talking about a leather ball or cricket ball. What's the process of patient evaluation? I mean, he's hit on the head, he collapses. How quickly do you guys come in, and then how quickly do you decide from at this point this guy requires treatment in the hospital? How quickly is this guy taken to a hospital? And I mean, what's the whole process like?
See, it's a very nowadays we all the leagues they don't take any chances with medicine. I mean medical setups. They we have 3-4 ambulances placed in the ground. We have everyone in the cardiac ambulances. There is a medical team waiting there down. The umpires, by the moment is down, we run into the field. We assess them. If anything is there, immediately we ask them to get a stretcher, or else sometimes the ambulance also is called directly into the ground and taken them. It is fully equipped and fully ready with any kind of medical emergency. We also have with the defibs and everything with us. So any kind of injuries on table we see on the field, we assess them just like a normal examination with the basic vitals to begin with, and then we do the systemic and the general examination. And anything we feel, see, we have a little bit more time in cricket, but in football it's a little less. But examination is examination. Only once you're completely done, and then we take a call. And if there is a serious injury, we shift him as soon as possible, right from the field itself. There is no waiting period. One of the medicos will assess and help him up in getting back. And coming to the other aspects of it is that in cricket, yes, we have some time. We can take him off, get him treated, and come back. So that's how it is.
Okay.
It's as soon as possible. I think we don't waste much of the time on
Of
this.
course. I think the whole point is to get to the higher center as soon as possible and provide the best. Yeah. So, I mean, these are injuries that happen on the field. Now, what happens to a player who's in practice and has an injury? How do you decide this guy plays the match tomorrow? He doesn't play the match. If he doesn't play the match, Lucknow is going to win and Lucknow is going to lose and RCB is going to win. When do you take that call of deciding?
It's a very tricky thing. So what I the training session, we have a medical team assessing. We assess everybody as a team. Everyone gives their inputs, and we know them how good they are on a normal day and how it's different right now at that moment of time. And then we convey the decision to the coach, and then we decide. Okay, look, we ask the player also, like, see, how are you feeling tomorrow? I mean, what is your thing? Can you do what you're supposed to do? Can you try that and see? Before the match also we try and see before giving the squad and everything. And if they are confident, if we are confident, and if the coach is also confident, then we take a decision to play him. If there is any risk in any one of the departments where we feel is risky, then we don't take the risk.
And who
uh,
breaks the ice?
I think it should be of one of us to start off with, who do the bad work. But sometimes the coaches understand, sometimes they're a little stressed. But I think the player safety is very important as a part of the medical team. And their views also are very, very important. Because, see, you can't have him for one match and lose 5 matches. So that's important. So you put in like a brave heart, you go and put him in for one match and he's out for the next five, then nobody's going to take it lightly. So it's a this is also by experience that you know when it is. The biggest challenge will be in football because they ask me how much minutes can you play. To be very frank, I really don't know because that guy can get injured in the first minute also, can
Of
be
course.
injured like any other person, or can be injured at the 90th minute. It's very difficult to say, but we have certain criteria called as return to play criteria. So we have a particular thing for particular injury like hamstring, and there's like 2 3 sessions he has to do well and all the stuff. So very important to assess that very importantly. Second thing is how bad is the injury. So in my setup, I look at the scans myself.
Okay.
Like most of the injuries as an orthopedic surgeon, that gives me an advantage because I know musculoskeletally, radiologically what I'm looking for. So we have to understand this. See, look, as a radiologist, you don't have the benefit of clinical examination. So I really can't say that they can give everything right. As a clinician, as part of the the setup of the club, I have seen him clinically, I have seen him radiologically. So I'm in a better position to take a call. Sometimes it may not be matching with the radiology department, and I would take a call. That doesn't mean that they have a bad thing. So if they see some signal, they have to report. For example, I hit you with a ball, and it's a huge edema here down, and that edema is looked into the scans. So they look it into the muscle classification. We look it at the cross sections. They say, oh, edema is 10%, then grade two. And what he has, that it may be a simple ball which has come and hit him on the contusion levels. So who knows that? I know that. They don't know. So that's why we need a very good doctor inside the team. We need a person to take good decisions inside the team. That everything that looks on the on the scan is not the right thing. Clinical. So we have to treat the player's shoulder or player's knee. We don't treat the MRIs. So it's very important as a thing. It doesn't mean that we are not taking the radiologists seriously. We respect them. They give us an idea. But since if this is a contact injury, I know it's not from inside. If it's a non-contact and they're giving me the edema, I know, okay, this is serious. This is muscle injury. This is serious. This is not a good sign for me. But it's a contact injury. If there's a knock or a contusion, even it looks like that on your scans. So that edema is an important thing there for reporting. But doesn't mean that where it is coming from also is very important for us. This is why you need a very good medical setup inside your team to take the right decisions. So that's why, as an orthopedician, I have an advantage for my club. So where I read the scans myself, I go to the scans, I see the scans, I take the computer shots, and I see clinically, I take a call. That gives me a better idea of telling, okay, how much he can play, but can't be 100% guaranteed. But to my luck, it has worked well. So my coach is still trusting me. So I have a luck because in Mexico, I worked under a coach for 4 years, the first coach, and he likes me now also, and he trusts me also. And now also I'm working with 4 years with my coach. I'm happy. I worked 2 years in cricket also with Mr. Andy. So it's pretty good. So let's see. Wherever I've worked, I have been lucky enough to have the trust from the people around me. It has worked till now. I hope it works. But there is nothing like X, Y, Z rule. It is all clinical acumen. That is the very crucial thing.
Absolutely.
And I hope most of the clubs will have a doctor for themselves who will understand this and take a call based on what they feel rather than sending them to 100 different centers with 100 different opinions and spoils the broth. Because you know him clinically, you know radiologically, you're seeing the difference every day. Take a call. So this is something in IPL it's only 2 months, doesn't matter much, but when you're in football, it's around 8 months season, and that can
Absolutely.
cost you a lot.
Any career-ending injuries that you've
There were
seen?
many things which I've seen from DVTs to there were DVTs. I don't know how it came, but sometimes it can happen. From DVTs also I've seen some spasmodic of arteries also during the games I've seen, but luckily we have been able to control them. There have been knocks on the elbow, heads, and concussion in the very bad stages. I've seen many career-ending cases. I think it's very important to identify the right thing, and once you've identified, see what are the risk factors for these things, and take a good rehab. So it's very important to have all these factors totally worked out as a team to to stop them or get them back if they had it.
Lot of ligament injuries,
Yeah.
right? Loads and loads. I've had many while playing football, and I've in fact. Uh,
That's why Sharon have become an arthroscopic surgeon.
uh, I'm definitely coming soon.
Okay, no, I'm
Definitely
joking, but that's how it is. I mean,
I
yes, you need to be an orthopedician. You need to be a successful orthopedician. You need to
absolutely,
prove also, right?
absolutely. No, I mean the whole where this question stems from is there any space for regenerative medicine in sports now?
Yes, I'm a big believer of that. Yes, see, I have an advantage. My wife is a pathologist, and she tells me all the different benefits you get from blood products and everything. She's a master in that, and she tells me like how we collect it and everything, what are stem cells and everything. So I get a total idea from her. So she explains to me every day new modalities, new techniques and everything. She was telling me recently that there are new techniques where you can derive it from the fat also. So these are the things which I have learned a lot from these days. But see, I'm personally believing it in a regenerative medicine. Now, see, a situation will be like this: like you have a very important player, and you know that it's not a very big injury, but you need to do something and put him to the season. You know, it's very important. He's a very important player. We need to pull out to the season. So in that case, the injury, the healing is not going according to our plan. So we have to do something new. Now there comes the picture of a PRP or maybe a growth factors or any kind of sanakina. So I mean there are a lot of factors, a lot of procedures we do. Like there's nothing wrong in augmenting them, but they should be very important. I told you one more thing. It's very important to know the knowledge of doping in
That's right.
sports. So you can't have something very give a steroid injection now.
Mm.
Last 2 years it has been banned. I mean we have to take a therapeutic exemption. We have to ask the WADA, the World Anti-Doping Council, that why have I given this? Is it indicated? I should have the proof, and I've taken exception from them before because any of the doping test comes in, I should be ready with the answer,
Wow.
or else the career of the player will be in trouble.
Absolutely. Just like recently, Paul Pogba has been banned for 2 years because of this
I
doping.
had his brother working with me. He was in Mohun Bagan. His
Oh,
Florentin Pogba, his elder brother was with us.
oh, that's Paul Pogba's younger brother,
Younger,
elder brother.
elder
Wow.
brother. So
Okay.
he was with us, and he was with us for one season. See, I mean, very nice guy. I mean, very hardworking people. So it's unfortunate that I don't know if he has knowingly done it or unknowingly done it, but there are certain things here. I mean, see, to be very frank to you here, I mean, there are something like steroids. There are something like where you take like therapeutic ones. Like if you are giving a Kenacort or something, okay, but you're taking testosterone and all, there should be an adequate reason. I mean, certain things are unpardonable, but certain things you can claim it up. There are certain inactive ingredients there. Sometimes some supplements may have it. Something you've eaten may be contaminated. So there are a lot of factors there. But that's why very important for every player to be in touch with you. My team, I take total control of them because ask them what they eat, what they don't eat, what they have not been there. I mean, be very careful with all throughout the season. So doping can happen anytime, whether you're playing or not playing. You have to give your sample. And certain things which are banned in competition, certain things are banned throughout your life. So the amount of danger comes there. So now why I brought this topic here is that I want them to be responsible. So anyone gives you any medicine doesn't mean that you take it and do for your performance or anything. That's where we have to be there. So it's very important in this perspective that we have to tell the player that don't listen to outside people. Don't just go to the doctor. They doesn't know that you're a player or not. If you're allied, yes. If you're not allied, no. Now I think next year onwards we may not even have tramadol. We cannot even take a tramadol. We have to take a exception for that. So it's very important to be updated as a doctor for you, and also an updated from that point of view that you have to explain this to the patient or your player,
Yeah.
and that is very crucial.
Um, how important is nutrition, sleep, mental health at for these professional players at that level? How do they all these factors weigh in?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, the best form of recovery, I believe, is sleep. That's after the match we cannot get sleep so easily because of the adrenaline, because of the caffeines we give them for playing, and in the form of I think what you call it as pre-workouts.
Pre-workouts.
Espresso shots, the caffeines, and I mean all that thing.
I mean, on a lighter note, I was watching this podcast of Cyrus Brocha with Mutaya Muralidharan. And he asked Mutaya what her daily routine was like. And Muralidharan said that, on some days during a test match, they were partying till 3 a.m. And then they got back, slept for like 5 hours, and they were up the next day playing England. And they actually go on to win the match. I mean, things have changed. It's a lot more demanding right now.
Please, don't take this as an advice.
No, no, I'm
This is absolutely ridiculous. This is going to be a nightmare for the medical team for sure. But I'll tell you, see, I mean, see, it depends. See, all days are not Sundays. Maybe you have done one match. Nobody bought this, but if you have lost it, you had it. So, see, sleep is very important, and that's why I said nutrition. I manage in football and cricket. When I manage this, people who ask me, I manage it. For their diet, the entire menu was made by me, and in football is very strict that I take care of the last 2 days in -1 match day menu is taken care by me. The reason for this is very important that we need to have more carbs very close to the match. See, you want some energy which can be give you instant digestion and energy. Like imagine you take mashed potatoes or something. You want the energy for that game. What will I give you creatinine? What do you want me to give with a lot of proteins? It takes a lot of time to get the energy, and the match happens for 1.5 hours, and energy should be fast. The body is hungry. Give it. So we want the most fastest of fastest ingredients for them for that to play them well. But you can't give the same diet every day because they'll put on fat. You don't like stars too much here. So that's very important what you eat for other days and particular days. So the diet is very, very crucial, not only for recovery, but also for performance and also to control fatigue. That's why they're different from normal people. And then again, we have to worry about the sleep because that's very crucial for us. And if they're not sleeping well, they are asking for trouble. So very important. As much important is endurance and hard work to get into the game and win it. Very important to recover them and prepare them for the another match because it's a season long, season long game, not a one match or a two match game. So it's very important to.
We see that, you know, between the game, they have something called a drinks break.
Hmm.
What's that all about?
Drinks, it's normal drinks, man. It's
Oh,
not the. I would wish. Okay, but it sounds nice, no? I was just seeing when I was small. I just look at a big Pepsi bottle going in, but nobody drinks Pepsi inside. Huh? Don't
okay.
trust me. Nobody drinks those drinks there. I will see a big bottle of Coca-Cola going in, and inside is only water, or there will be electrolytes. Now, see, this is a very interesting thing. When people ask me what do you drink and how to do. So now, when I'm doing my practice in orthopedics, also there are a lot of players who are playing at a very low level coming to me a lot of times, and I also guide them. This is a good thing that I'm in sports setup. I can guide them well. Something which is called as pre-workout. So there's something that we give a lot of sugars for them, sugars and electrolytes. There are two important things we give them. As I said, you the reason is they are hungry, and what is absorbed very fast we give them. So I don't want something to give a protein shake there because that will take in the evening by the time they are back. So I don't bother about that. I give the sugars or the electrolytes very importantly. We have the electrolytes. We give the reloads. That is the combination 2:1 carbos for everything. One little lost, one part lost or two parts ingestion them. And second thing is that there are some bananas or some fruits, whatever we give. So that's very good in potassium. So some energy like energy bars or something. So this is what we give them during the break, just to rejuvenate them and get them back on track. So caffeines usually are given before, just before the match. We give it 1 hour or half an hour. We give the caffeine gels to make them neuromuscularly stimulated, and for the better performance. And then once they are back, we're back to recovery.
Most of us love sports in India.
Yes.
I mean, everybody, of course. And we also want to get fit, right? Um, what are, people are getting really conscious about their fitness routines these days. At least most people. But most of us are getting into this fitness routine that, we have. So, what are your thoughts? What's your advice to the general public on just fitness on a daily basis?
See, basically, there are two different things. I mean, see, what athletes go through is that they have to have no choice. I mean, we have to prepare them for everyday train, play, recover. Train, play, recover. Cycle is very fast and at a very fast rate. So, whatever they follow, it has been over a systematic period. A lot of people taking care of them. It's a slow process. That's all the preseason all about. The warm up things are all about. And then slowly go into a phase. Never do everything very fast. For a normal public, I would always say start with a good cardio, then go for some weights, some mobility, flexibility, and then starts little bit of on-field activity, and do as something of everything, and so that you just start very easy. Go slowly, and every time when you go back and sleep and get up, you'll always have some soreness, and the soreness only should get better with the days, not increase. Once you get the adaptation well, then you slowly start pushing in. There is a very wrong concept about various fitness things. We start follow diet because he was in the gym. No, it's not right. We don't know what is the exact situation, what is the underlying condition which he has. Always do a blood test for yourself. I mean, weekly. Yearly one, do a basic blood test yourself just to see if all your basic parameters are under control, and also see that you don't get trapped into this unnecessary supplement. I mean, like advertised supplements of unnecessary thing which can cause harm to your body. Stay away
Absolutely.
from them.
They see Virat Kohli's viral video of all his products in his room,
Yeah.
and also a lot of people advertising your drinks and your primes and things like that. So most everyone is almost on nowadays. They go to the gym and there's a pre-workout before the workout, and then you're on protein powders. I
Absolutely.
keep getting asked this question:
Yeah.
Is this fine to take protein powders?
See,
So what do you
my
say?
opinion is that anything on the right direction is normal. See, protein, I don't like in someone taking it before the session. See, the body, when you're working on the exercise, the job of the body will be to perform. So the body is more worried about your coordination, how your muscle is contracting, how much oxygen should go there, how to remove the lactic acid. It has its own tensions. You don't put this protein into that before your training and start working on digestion also. Don't give them extra work. There are certain things. Eat normal thing. During the training, we give you something. Okay, the protein, it takes a long time to digest. It's not easy to digest for a normal person. So taking a protein shake before this workout is totally. I don't like it. I'm not. There are a lot of studies saying it's not required. I'm not. I don't believe that. I mean, it definitely helps. It's not. I believe that, but you should know the right amount when to take and what to take. Okay, I would say that I give them protein shakes always along with couple of things. That is a glutamine, which is a recovery molecule also, and also we give BCAA. They are very important for your muscle repair. So protein shake after the training session, I usually prefer that. So that's a very good thing. And in addition, in between the training sessions or before training session, I only give them sugars. I mean that electrolytes. Either it may be an electrolytes or I can give the 2:1 carb. Especially I like certain drinks with maltodextrin. So I feel they give very good recovery. So these are the good ideas to taurine and all these things are good. But protein is not a good idea before the sessions. After that, yes. And it is mainly for allied athletes who are running and playing for 90 minutes. If you go for 10, 20 minutes in gym, you don't need protein shake. What have you done? You have just burned something, allow it to burn. And I don't think you should make it up by taking a protein bar or a protein shake. If you're playing 90 minutes, yes, because you're going beyond the capacity of your body. That's where it's important. So it's very different. You can't look at players and do it for yourself. So sometimes whatever the advertisement doesn't mean that you should take it because nobody drinks what they say. You don't expect any of the allied athletes without naming they'll drink all this carbonated drinks. No chance. So you should know what you have to take and what not to take. And if someone is listening to this podcast, I would say, like, okay, listen. I mean, you're taking good fruits, like bananas, very good in potassium. You take protein shake, yes. Some creatinine initial doses and maintenance dose you can take once or twice. You can mix it with the protein after the training sessions, and you can take some glutamine in the night when you are sleeping, and take good balanced diet and do your cardio, do your screening. Definitely more enough for the normal population. And you don't build a fitness in 1 day or 2 days. It takes its time. Gradually you will get adapt to your loads, you increase your loads, and then you start getting better and better. And when over a period of time you will get it. So just don't run into the process, don't fast track the process. Respect the body, respect the vision. Second important thing I want to highlight is when they change their diet, people think it's magic to get results in 1 or 2 months. No, it at least takes a year. When you take a diet change, the entire system to be activated and give results, it takes over a year. And it has its own drawbacks. There will be tiredness, there will be cramps, there will be tiredness, aches, body aches, because the body is going through a completely different due process. Okay, and it can vary from people to people, their digestive capacity, genetic backup, everything. It's multifactorial. So just be patient for a year. Very important to note down that, calcium and vitamin D levels, very crucial.
Absolutely. I think most of
Yeah,
us are
vitamin B12, very important.
subliminally deficient on
Yeah,
this.
magnesium.
Uh,
I give important these minerals, very important.
yeah.
These all are important to maintain and correct it if it is depleted, or this is very important to maintain the status. See if your sugars are high or your thyroid status. All these things are very important. So a good checkup, a good medical backing by a proper diet and fitness regimen will definitely be absolutely a boon for anybody who is following
And
it.
I think all the issues of osteoporosis, chondromalacias, all your ligament tears, all that is
Yeah,
taken
see,
care of.
chondromalacia is a condition where we will see more in ladies. It's true, and dehydration is one of the biggest factor, and also some impact activities. Basically, it's a thinning of the cartilage levels, which is a protective mechanism when there are two joints or two surfaces come into picture. Ideally, they'll complain that when I'm sitting for a long time and standing, I've got tightness and stiffness, or if I watch a movie with getting up, it's very painful. So these are the very important things. See, I don't know what about the world says, but I had a good success with collagen supplements. I recommend a collagen supplements for these kind of things, and also believe that when you take collagen, don't expect it to get results in 3 or 5 days. I mean, take it for a month and see. See, there is a time period for everything to absorb and get into it. Good supplementation and a good regimen, especially your quadriceps. If you have a condylomalia patella, like good strengthening of your quads, like your VMOs, are very crucial, and these will all help you in a good physio, a good supplement, a good diagnosis, and a good treatment. It's very important. It's like going, it's a team effort, and definitely that'll be better over a period of time. But be patient with whatever you're doing. whatever conditions you're having, very important. So there may be acute conditions, there may be chronic conditions, and there may be chronic, they can be because of overuse. So we have to respect that and also need to do corrective mechanisms when you have these issues.
Doctors generally have a hectic schedule, most
Correct.
of us.
Mm.
How would you suggest we incorporate fitness into our daily routine? And what would you suggest people start off with?
See, always remember one thing: you be a doctor or anything in your life, any professional, you should know what is a need and what is a want. You can work from 9 to 5, happy, do your work. You need not work from 9 o'clock in the morning to 12 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning. You're just being greedy. I mean, do you need that to survive? My answer is no. You should know what your capacities are. You should know where your limitations are. Spend some time with your family. Take some time for yourself. Give your body to recover. Work hard. When you're meant to work, take a good recovery when you're back. Spend some time with the family. Take some break. Okay, get your routine test done. As I said before, get a good balanced diet. Start off with the basic exercises like cardio and stuff. Go for outdoor work activities and stuff. Slowly improve and get it more. On and off, get some physio opinions for the assessment of your musculoskeletal system. Something is not wrong. See the ideal doctors and move on. Only work, and no play makes Jack a dull boy, right? We already learned that from our nursery. It's
Absolutely.
time to remember that. Just respect, you know what your body wants. By this time, you should be mature enough to know what is good for you and what is important for you, and when you to stop, when you to start. I think this is a simple thing you to follow in life. There is everyone is different. He may do well by doing from morning till evening. He has no work. Fine, let him do it. And he is adapting. You don't know how he's doing it. You're only seeing one aspect of it. There is tip of the glacier. I mean, you don't know the tip of the iceberg. Well, you know what is down. So it's very important that you know what is best for you. Take a good, I would say, take professional opinions in whatever departments you are,
Correct.
and go for it.
And I think that this body just functions better with that endorphin release with the exercise that we
Exercise,
do on a
yes,
daily basis.
yes.
You live a more fuller life, maybe? Can I say
Yes.
that?
See, exercise will always release endorphins, but the question is that you should know when to start and when to stop. Anything which is beyond requirement is not right, because you will release endorphins. Tomorrow you will be triple the soreness you have. So that's not right. I mean, you have to know what is important and what to stop. In athletes, what is called fitness is like fun thing is that you should move your body very freely and you should be able to breathe freely. If you're no matter what are you doing, you should be very comfortable and breathing really well, and you have to be able to move all your joints and things move. That's where your fitness lies in. This is the importance of it. Now, you don't look at the beauty of the outside, how big body I have. So this is very important to know. And second thing is that also people should understand that fitness is not making muscles, and sports is not about making muscles or making your body big. The important thing is that very important is what is a lean body mass. That's very important. Everyone should understand that we need a hyperplasia, not hypertrophies.
Absolutely.
So if you have boxing and stuff, where there is punching and stuff, and where there is wrestling, you want bulky. Okay, that's hypertrophy muscle. You have 10 muscles there, or 10 are big in size. It looks big. That's okay to have a pound of energy in a short period of time. But if you want to survive for 90 minutes, you should have a good lean body mass. You need 100 fibers in that one fragment of muscles. You need to last for 90 minutes, and only if
Absolutely.
you are good fitness there, then only you can last. Now you don't require that kind of fitness as a doctor. If you are doing it's a passion, great, but you have the regimen there with the diet, this, you follow everything. Don't suddenly do some exercise and run for marathons. Not right. It's not right for you. Follow the protocols. There's always a protocol. Even in athletes, there is a protocol. There is a preseason, there is a warm up, there is a stretching, there is a cool down, there is a thing which goes in, the proper diet. Follow that. Everything you respect. Everything has a reason for it. Just don't look at others and do it. You know what you want, follow it sincerely. I think that should be the thing.
I
This is my
mean,
message to the doctors, I say. And it's good to have fitness. Why not? Everyone likes to be fit. Who doesn't
absolutely.
want it?
Just hearing your work schedule is sort of, making me feel
Listen,
how.
Sharon, I am a doctor for others, not myself. I
No,
need a good doctor for myself to tell me.
no, that's what I
Don't
was.
ask me, am I following this? It's I know people around me who
Absolutely.
are very close to me exactly know what I do. But yes, I'm trying my best. I'll be very frank with you. I'm trying my best.
No, on a lighter note, with this whole serious situation that we're in of this conversation, I want to know what Dr. Nelson does to chill. Yeah,
to
to chill. What do you do? Do
see,
you
I,
do you
I,
take off on a
I
weekend?
see. I love food. Okay. I will like to
Talk
explore.
about nutrition, guys.
So I love food. I like to explore everywhere where I go. What are the different cuisines I have? I like to try them a lot. and I am a strict non-vegetarian.
Oh.
And love, I do like veg, but but always it should be with the non-veg. And I like to have chill. And I like my I like my drinks.
I mean, getting into the
I
hydration part,
yeah,
of course. Nutrition is
hydration.
in hydration.
I think the both aspects of it, the hot and the cold, I love them. But I don't. To be very frank, I don't like sugars. I completely avoid sugars. I don't have sugars in any whatever I take. But if you give me a beer, I can't stop. But yes, I mean, I do enjoy that. And then I spend some time. My biggest chilling time is doing surgeries. And whenever I get time, the first thing I do is like I want to do surgeries. I'll do that. Then I spend some time with my family. I'm a big dog lover. I have three of them at home. So whenever I have time,
Like
I run
most
to
of
them.
us, we're all dog lovers, and I think
Yeah.
all of you guys should be dog lovers
Yeah,
too. That's all
yeah,
right.
absolutely. Yeah, see, your 1 day is their 7 days. They are very short span of life. It's very important for them to give your love because they always crave for your love. So whenever I go home, I spend time with them, take them out and spend some time with them. I do my I like driving and going visiting places. I spend time with my family. This is the time I chill. But when I'm on my work and my family is here, the one thing I do is like I just go for walks, and I spend some time, watching matches and seeing some podcasts about sport medicine, and also learning something more about the subject. So I think it's everyone's routine. But yeah, I'm not addicted to anything.
Yeah.
I know what is when I want. I know what I want when I want. I made in that thing very clear.
Basically, draw a fine line, of
Yeah,
course.
absolutely. I mean,
I mean,
see, you like something in life, you try something in life. I always been open to it, but should know when I should when I want it. I know when I don't want it, and I know when I have to stop it, when I have to start it. That's my choice, and I exactly know what I'm doing. So if you have that much control, I don't think you should have a problem with that. But on a lighter note, yes, I mean, I would love to be more healthy and fit, which you can see me in coming days.
looking forward to that. So, who are the famous players you've rubbed shoulders with?
I mean, there are many men actually, to be frank. But I can name some, like beginning with the great legendary Tendulkar. I've seen them. I've been with Dhoni. I've seen them. In my own club, Gigi. We already fondly call him Gautam Gambhir.
Yeah.
He's a very nice person. Huh? Very serious he looks, but he's
Yeah.
a very nice person.
Very emotional.
Yeah, very nice person. I
And
mean,
most emotional
and
people
I
are
don't
nice,
know
is
most
what I
of them
think.
what they do. They do a lot of social service, like education, free education for children
I
who
think
are
the guy is
deprived.
a member of
Yeah,
parliament now, if I'm not
he's a member
wrong.
of the parliament. He takes care of his some deprived children, the schooling,
Wow.
food, and everything. So we are not in the limelight, but very nice person. And also John D. Rhodes, Andy Flower, the players, KL, Stoinis. I mean, I can't name them a lot. Everyone. I mean, I very good, very happy with that. And I think it was like the dream come true when I met all of them. And even in football, I have met most of the players, legends of Indian football.
I mean, you
And
said legends and you missed out our team captain, and that's not cool with us.
who's
Have
the
you?
team captain?
Virat Kohli, man.
Oh
Come
yeah,
on.
yes, of course. He's a gem of a guy, top guy. Top guy. It has been a great sharing the dressing room. I mean, I've not shared the dressing room with him, but I met him. But also, I've met Naveen-ul-Haq. Both are good friends now. So let's go chill on that. I will tell you the real thing is that, after that episode, I mean, I was a LSC. So obviously, I'm supporting LSC. I have my friends who are RCB fans, very good friends, my classmates. I have a group there, and they all like, Nelson, we won today. And I put one photo with Naveen-ul-Haq. It was surprising to see that there was some of abuses and stuff. But always remember, they are very nice people. Both
Of
of them
course,
are
yeah.
very nice people.
In fact, I think
And
most of India was rooting for Afghanistan during that game.
absolutely. And if you see now, I'm so happy that they are like people are accepting them. It just happens in the heat of moment. So we do not have to bother too much about this. Both are brilliant individuals, done extremely good job in their thing. They have the right, to have a small exercise. How adrenaline. I always tell with people, when you're playing on the ground, there's something called adrenaline. The adrenaline level is so high that they are in that zone. That's why you last for 90 minutes and you play even a cricket or anything, any game. So you don't unnecessarily go and talk to them because they'll get angry. It is called adrenaline. It is like sometimes players have scolded me also on the ground, but once they come back, they'll tell you sorry because when it falls down. And that's the reason why they don't go and sleep in the night also. It takes some time to fall down. Some we give caffeine and all this stuff. So it's very important to understand that the sympathetic system is very activated in them. And that's the reason why you don't unnecessarily mess with them. So both of them at that moment will be like full zone. They're focused. They're waiting. They're doing the best for their team, best for their country. They're working very hard. and when they are coming back, then they calm down. It's okay. So respect the athletes, guys. I mean, I'm telling you, all of you, respect the athletes. They go through a lot, and when they come back, the next day, the body is so tiredness. All the effects of that game is felt next day. In football, that will last till 48 hours. So it's very important that we don't take too much what they do on the field. Just focus on what they're good at, their talent. If you're a cricket fan, we'll look at his batting or bowling or fielding. Appreciate that. If you the fielder is defender, okay, appreciate his defending skills. If he's a thing, if he's a he's a striker, appreciate his goal scoring skills. Don't see what he looked at him, he smiled at him, he winked at him. Don't look at that. That's not what you want on the field. There is a little bit of adrenaline in the body. They are responsible, they do it. Science is saying that it's not easy for you to run in 90 minutes simply and play, no matter how much you train. So you respect that kind of a feeling in the body, and I think you cannot judge them on the pitch there. So I think it's very important. I'm happy that this is a very everything is taken on the lighter note. I'm very happy to see them back, and I hope India wins the World Cup soon. So I'm waiting for that day.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you this actually reminded me of something that happens to me on the pitch. I get extremely intense while playing, and sometimes I sort of a wrong tackle, and I can start an argument on the pitch.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure that's happened, and many people watching this podcast have
Absolutely,
experienced
absolutely,
it.
absolutely.
And then post match, we're all good again.
Absolutely, it's
So-
very nice to sit in your rooms on going to your laptop, start abusing. Hey, this fellow did that. This fellow did. It's good. I mean, you have no. I mean, like to comment here, you be a part of it. It's okay. But trust me, guys, it's different being there. So I've been there. I've seen the both aspects of it. I mean, there is that the science says that, not anyone else. Sometimes that things are happening about a track of moment. And I mean, you should be smart. Why do you think someone wants to take red cards unnecessarily in football? Do you think someone takes yellow card purposely in football? It happens. They go for a tackle. They have no choice. They pull it in and realize, oh, what I've done. But they're too late by then. It is sympathetic. It's like what a sympathetic reaction is called. Simply when you see a tiger, what do you do? Your body adapts to it to run to so far that you will not know what your speed is. That is called sympathetic system. That's called adrenaline. The adrenaline is something which automatically gets the extra out of you.
Correct.
Whenever you're seeing that, and it knows what to do.
Absolutely.
It's not under your control. You see a tiger in front of you right now, what do you do? Stand and smile at him? No,
Absolutely.
immediately you'll run. You have run at a speed that you'll never run in your life.
Absolutely.
Then you're like, did I run this? That's the answer. So this is something which I want to tell you guys, that it is very important. I know that
to not draw conclusions from
absolutely.
people's
I mean, I
reactions,
would say don't do that. If you know a person well, and otherwise try getting more information on that. Simply writing something on someone's wall. It's very easy to do that, but they go through a lot. I mean, that affects them. They may not see it, but they know someone is doing that. They have pressure. They have to overcome that. When you are representing a billion people. They are batting, you're bowling. If something goes wrong, what's there in their mind? It's a mental status. At the end of the day, we all should know that we are all human beings. They are also human beings. We are also human beings. It's very important to respect each other, and that's why we are the better species here. I think that's how we have to move forward.
This is great. I mean, you've taken us through this whole journey of how it started from school, med school, post that.
I hope it's not
journey-
boring, right?
Not at all. Yeah, not at all. It's interesting. I mean,
Yeah, it's
the
nice, bro.
offbeat path that you've taken, which
Absolutely.
I think most people need to know.
Absolutely. See, first, I would really today. I mean, it's another thing which I want to thank my parents. They have been very nice to me. See, I come from a middle class family, and not so much of financial backing. But only thing I had was my talent and my hard work. Have been here. And I would really thank them what I am today. My wife, she's, I'm working in Kolkata. She's working in Bangalore. I come once a month to see and do my surgeries. The club is nice to me. They have been giving me holidays to go and do my surgeries in my breaks time, see patients and come. And also I meet my family also once a month. She's been doing a lot of sacrifices. So when I've reached here, it is a lot of sweat and blood of a lot of people and the good wishes of my well wishers, be it my classmates, be my patients, be my friends. They all supported me all through this journey. So it has never been possible if they had not done this. So that's why I had a lot to say. I had a lot to mention, but I can't mention them all on this podcast. But definitely, if anyone is listening to this, a big thank you to all of them who have helped me to what I am here today. So that's what I wanted to tell.
I mean, just listening to your journey has made me feel extremely proud of what you've done today. I mean, what
really,
you've achieved.
Sharon, thank you so much.
Absolutely,
I'm really happy, and I'm really thanking your team very importantly. You came all the way from there and taking such a beautiful arrangements for everything, and the hard work they have done to get this questions and done. So it's beautiful, and I really enjoyed this. I really thank your entire team, and Humans of Medicine. I really be proud of that, and I'm really fantastic that you guys are studying also as a PG and you're doing all this. Excellent, excellent. And I think the lot of message we are giving here, this should you should inspire a lot of medicos down there. I mean, they have to see that they will have. I'll tell you one thing, Sharon. I feel in this next few years there will be competitions. There will be a lot of competitions. There will be more population coming into medicine. There will be more seats given. There will be more PG seats. There will be more hospitals coming in. There are more patients coming in. But what you have to remember, that they cannot stop you from being what you are. There will be 100 people around you, but you, if you are good in your work, if you are passionate about your work, you can stand among the 100 people. And
Absolutely.
at the end of the day, patient benefits.
Yeah. And it's standing among 100 people with the 100 people.
Absolutely. It's a survival of the fittest from now.
Absolutely.
You cannot just be a doctor. You can't be
Yeah.
just an orthopedic surgeon. You should be a very good orthopedic surgeon. And who decides that? The patients and yourself.
Absolutely.
That's very important. And that's very important for you to follow that.
It was just amazing having you, Dr. Nelson, on our podcast. And
Same here,
I
Sharon.
can't
Same.
thank you enough for, spending your time and coming all the way here to
I think
Bangalore.
I'm really happy. I mean,
And
I
it
was
was,
very
again, lovely. Yeah?
You know what? I
Amazing.
really want to end this podcast. I'll give a small message to all
Yeah,
my friends down there.
Of course.
Is that, look, guys, there is no big cost in dreaming. Dream how much you want. Dream big. See, talent is not in your hands. Talent is God given. I mean, if you have it, great. That's a cherry on your top. But what is in your hands is the hard work. There is no substitute for hard work. And keep working, keep working. Even the posts I mentioned in your thing, I said, dream big, work hard. And if you work hard, there will be. I'm telling you, the result will be there. And always, wherever you are, whatever you are, believe yourself that, see, there is something in me. If I don't believe myself, who else can? And if you really put that effort, heart and soul into it, then I'm sure you will be success one day. There is no way that you will be a failure. So you have to believe that. The inner belief is very important. And what I'm telling to other my juniors also, that no matter how many, a lot of people tell me, there are so many orthopedicians in my thing. How can I take orthopedics? You let them be 100 and 1,000. You do the subject, you learn, and you try to be the best. No matter who around you shouldn't stop you. You should continue your work. You should work hard, and you will reach the success point. So I would just say that, keep dream big, work hard. See, if you are become an orthopedician, is not a simple thing, or you have become something in life today after your PG. It's not easy job. You have taken your hard work. You have been the best of best in your academics in your year. And today you are going to sports. Yes, there are different reasons, but you are the blessed one. You have to believe what has got you here, and you will know that will take you further. So with that belief, I hope many more people will come into this field. And remember, sports is a beautiful field. Come over, don't be scared. Yes, there will be insecurity because you always have contracts every year, but always believe that you are the best. You are the best. Myself, I am the best. Believe that particular thing. Come up step by step, one step at a time. You will survive. If I can survive, why not you? As I told you, Sharon, I'm not the best in my class. I mean, I told you that time, right? The seventh standard, I was top, on the top of the school. That's the biggest achievement I did. Eighth standard, I little fell down. And I went to PU, maths almost destroyed me. I just scraped through. And I have MBBS hardly around 65%. So I'm not that extremely intelligent in my class. I am average. I'm an average student in my class. And being an average student, if I come here and done so much, and if I'm here, there are definitely more smarter people than me. Definitely it's a cakewalk for them. So I'm sure through this podcast, I want to tell them, please dream big, and see you soon here.
So thank you so much. And guys, I hope you enjoyed this podcast as much as we enjoyed having this for you. And hope to see you on the next one. Cheers.